Master. As worldly people are endowed with sattva, rajas and tamas, so also is bhakti characterized by the three gunas. Do you know what a worldly person endowed with sattva is like? Perhaps his house is in a dilapidated condition here and there. He doesn't care to repair it. The worship hall may be strewn with pigeon droppings and the courtyard covered with moss. But he pays no attention to these things. The furniture of the house may be old. He doesn't think of polishing it and making it look neat. He doesn't care for dress at all. Anything is good enough for him. But the man himself is very gentle, quiet, kind, and humble. He doesn't injure anyone. Again, among the worldly, there are people with the traits of rajas. Such a man has a watch and chain and 2 or 3 rings on his fingers. The furniture of his house is all spick and span. On the walls hang portraits of the Queen, the Prince of Wales, and other prominent people. The building is whitewashed and spotlessly clean. His wardrobe is filled with a large assortment of clothes. Even the servants have their livery and all that. The traits of a worldly man endowed with tamas are sleep, lust, anger, egotism, and the like. Similarly, bhakti, devotion, has its sattva. A devotee who possesses it meditates on God in absolute secret, perhaps inside his mosquito net. Others think he is asleep. Since he is late in getting up, they think perhaps he has not slept well during the night. His love for the body goes only as far as appeasing his hunger, and that only by means of rice and simple greens. There is no elaborate arrangement about his meals, no luxury in clothes, and no display of furniture. Besides, such a devotee never flatters anybody for money. An aspirant possessed of Rajasic Bhakti puts a tilak on his forehead and a necklace of holy Rudraksha beads interspersed with gold ones around his neck. All laugh. Footnote: tilak, a mark of sandal paste or other material to denote one's religious affiliation. Footnote ends. At worship, he wears a silk cloth. A man endowed with tamasic bhakti has a burning faith. Such a devotee literally extorts boons from God. Even as a robber falls upon a man and plunders his money. Bind, beat, kill. That is his way, the way of the dacoits. Saying this, the master began to sing in a voice sweet with rapturous love. His eyes turned upward. Why should I go to Ganga or Gaya, to Kashi, Kanchi or Prabhas? So long as I can breathe my last with Kali's name upon my lips? What need of rituals has a man? What need of devotions any more? If he repeats the mother's name at the 3 holy hours? Rituals may pursue him close, but never can they overtake him. Charity, vows, and giving of gifts do not appeal to Madan's mind. The blissful mother's lotus feet are his whole prayer and sacrifice. Who could have ever conceived the power her name possesses? Shiva himself, the god of gods, sings her praise with his 5 mouths. Footnotes. Ganga or Gaya, to Kashi, Kanchi or Prabhas. 5 places of pilgrimage. The 3 holy hours, dawn, noon and dusk. Madan, the author of the song. Footnotes end. The master was beside himself with love for the Divine Mother. He sang with fiery enthusiasm. If only I can pass away repeating Durga's name. How canst thou then, O Blessed One, withhold from me deliverance, wretched though I may be? Then he said, one must take the firm attitude. What? I have chanted the mother's name. How can I be a sinner any more? I am her child, heir to her powers and glories. If you can give a spiritual turn to your tamas, you can realize God with its help. Force your demands on God. He is by no means a stranger to you. He is indeed your very own. Again, you see, the quality of tamas can be used for the welfare of others. There are 3 classes of physicians: superior, mediocre, and inferior. The physician who feels the patient's pulse and just says to him, "Take the medicine regularly," belongs to the inferior class. He doesn't care to inquire whether or not the patient has actually taken the medicine. The mediocre physician is he who in various ways persuades the patient to take the medicine and says to him sweetly, "My good man, how will you be cured unless you use the medicine? Take this medicine. I have made it for you myself." But he who, finding the patient stubbornly refusing to take the medicine forces it down his throat, going so far as to put his knee on the patient's chest, is the best physician. This is the manifestation of the tamas of the physician. It doesn't injure the patient. On the contrary, it does him good. Like the physicians, there are 3 types of religious teachers. The inferior teacher only gives instructions to the disciple, but makes no inquiries about his progress. The mediocre teacher, for the good of the student, makes repeated efforts to bring the instruction home to him, begs him to assimilate it, and shows him love in many other ways. But there is a type of teacher who goes to the length of using force when he finds the student persistently unyielding. I call him the best teacher.